Hello class, this is Mr. Eggleston and this is the Algebra 1 Quiz 4.4 through 4.7 review video. You basically have, as always, the question is, you're going to have 7 questions. You're going to have 2 questions that solve each system. It tells you by elimination, mainly because you have to, I'm telling you because basically 1 and 2, you have to use elimination. 1's real easy. 2's a little bit trickier. All right. So let's look at number 1. Elimination. Remember from our discussion, elimination is when you focus on trying to kill a variable. And when I look at the system by adding equations together. So when I look at this system here, I instantly notice that the x's can be killed if I just add the 2 equations together. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add. So positive 2x plus a negative 2x is 0x. So you don't even bother writing it. Negative 9y plus a negative 6y is negative 15y. Equals, and then what is 0 plus 30 is 30. So we have negative 15y equals 30. Y equals 30 divided by negative 15, which is negative 2. We have the y variable. Now, you just substitute this y variable into one of the 2 equations on top. Either one of these, okay? It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to plug it into the top one. All right? So it's, and then we're going to solve for x. So it's 2x minus 9. Now, what's y? Negative 2. Let me scoot this down so you can see. There you go. And that's got to equal 30. Oh, excuse me, 0. My bad. So you have 2x plus 18 equals 0. So 2x equals negative 18. Just subtracting both sides, divide by both sides by 2, you get x equals negative 9. So the solution is negative 9 comma negative 2. You could check your work. I'm not going to show it, but I will just say it out loud. You take negative 9, 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. Negative 9 times a negative 2 is positive 18. Negative 18 plus 18 is 0. It works. Negative 2 times negative 9 is 18. Minus negative 6 times negative 2 is 12, positive 12. So 18 plus 12 is 30. It works in the bottom. All right? So this is the solution, and you would circle your answer because you know Mr. Eggleston likes you to circle your answers. All right, here's another system. This one's uglier. You have to decide which variable you want to kill. I'm looking at this and looking at 9 and 7 right here. Kind of ugly. 8 and 5. Still ugly, but maybe easier. And I realize if I can turn the 8x into 40x and the 5x into maybe a negative 40x, then we can just add and kill them. So I'm going to multiply both equations. Basically, I want to turn the top one. Now, you could go the other way, but I'm going to turn the top one into positive 40x by multiplying the whole thing by 5, because 8 times 5 is 40. And then I'm going to turn the bottom one into negative 40x by multiplying by negative 8. So this is 40x minus 5 times negative 9 is negative 45y. And then 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. That's one equation. And then negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Hence, they are opposite signs. Don't forget it's a negative, so negative 7 times negative 8 is a positive 56y. And then equals negative 8, because negative 1 times negative 8. Now, if I add these, the x's do sum to 0. And then we got to figure out what 56 minus 45 is. Let's see, that's 1. That's 11. Y. And negative 25 minus 8, I believe, is negative 33. I don't have a calculator in front of me, so I hope I'm not making mistakes algebra or numerically. Divide both sides by 11. And we got y equals negative 3. Now that I got y, I'm going to erase this so you can see. I have to plug this into one of the two equations above here to solve for x. I'm going to go ahead and use the bottom one. You don't have to use the bottom one. You could use the top one. I don't know why I'm choosing the bottom one. Okay, it just, I saw it and I like the fact that it was a 5x, I guess, versus an 8x. So now we plug in negative 3 for y, and we have to solve this. We got 5x, then we have to do negative 7 times negative 3 is a positive 21, equals 1. Subtract, drop opposites, subtract 21 from both sides. You get 5x, 1 minus 21, I believe, is negative 20. Divide both sides by 5. And you get x equals negative 4. So we have the solution, negative 4, comma, negative 3. You could check this. I highly recommend you want to circle this too, because Mr. Eggleston likes your answers circled so he knows what to look for. All right? You have to show your work. You can't just write the answer, obviously. And don't say I could do it in my head. So on this, to check it, 8, just checking this, 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. Negative 9 times negative 3 is a positive 27. Does negative 32 plus 27 equal negative 5? It does. All right, then we go 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21. Negative 20 plus 21 is 1. It works in the bottom. I checked it without writing it. You don't have to write the check, but I highly recommend checking it. Okay, the system of equations, number 3. Okay, number 3 says the system of equations are graphed on the xy plane. What is the y coordinate of the intersection point? Well, just solve this system. Looking at this, I realize I can just multiply the bottom equation, because I'm going to focus on the fact that it's a negative 10x and negative 5x. So I'm thinking, hey, if I just multiply the bottom equation by negative 2, then this bottom equation is 10x minus 8y equals positive 22. Now when I add, ignoring this now, I'm going to add these two together. The x's kill each other, and you have 1y plus a negative 8y is negative 7y. 6 plus 22 is 28. And y equals 28 divided by negative 7, which is negative 4. Now they said, what is the y coordinate? Well, you just found it. Y equals negative 4. Okay? And if you wanted to check it, you could, but you'd have to solve for the x to check it. And I'm not going to bother with that because who knows if x is nice or ugly. All right, the next one is a word problem. It says, Julio's school is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 6 senior citizen tickets and 8 student tickets. First thing I'm going to do is define my variables. X equals senior citizen, or SC, I guess, for senior citizen, right? Citizen C. SC ticks. And Y equals S ticks, student ticks. All right? So write an equation from the money taken in on the first day. Well, on the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 6 senior ticks, so that would be 6x, plus 8 student ticks, which is plus 8y, and that's got to equal the total of $180. Okay? So when I say, I should say this, X is senior citizen tickets price, because that's what we're looking for, and student tickets price. You should define your variables for me so I know what I'm looking at. All right, the school took in $230 on the second day by selling 13. Notice write an equation for the money taken on the second day. So that would be 13x plus 4y And that's got to equal 230? So now we have these two equations. All right? I'm going to go ahead and write them here on top of each because now we got to solve the system to answer the question. They want to know how much was the price of each ticket. So here's one equation. Here is the other equation. And the first thing that comes to mind is it seems like the y's would be the easiest to kill. All right? So what I'm going to do is multiply this bottom equation because my focus is on killing the y's, which means that positive 4y should turn into a negative 8y. So when we add them, the y's go bye-bye. So I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. So we got negative 26x minus 8y equals negative 460. So now we just add these two equations together and the y's kill each other. We're left with 6x plus a negative 2x. That's supposed to be negative 26x. I don't know why I wrote negative 2x. Sorry about that, because negative 2 times 13 is negative 26. So we got 6 plus a negative 26 is negative 20x. And then we have 180 minus 460. Don't have a calculator in front of me like a doofus. So that's 0, 3, 16, 8. 3 minus 1 is 280, and it's negative, so it equals negative 280. Divide both sides by negative 20, and we get x. X equals negative 280 divided by negative 20, which is a positive 28 over 2, which is 14. So we got x equaling 14. So to calculate what y must be, we plug it into an equation. Since I don't have a calculator, I'm going to do the top equation. So that's 6x, x is 14, plus 8y equals 180. 6 times 14, 6 times 10 is 60, 6 times 4 is 24. So that's 84, I hope. Again, let me do it because I don't have a calculator in front of me because I was too dumb to bring it over. So that's 24,684. All right, plus 8y equals 180. We're solving now for y. It's a two-step equation from here. Subtract 84 from 180, and that's 8y because the 84s go away. So it's 8y equals 180 minus 84. 180 minus 80 is 100. 100 minus 4 is 96. Okay, and then y equals 96 divided by 8, which I don't know off the top of my head. Again, too dumb to have brought a calculator over. Doing this by hand, 8, 1, 16, so it's 12. All right? So y equals 12. So they said, what is the price of each senior citizen ticket? Which is interesting because senior citizen tickets are more expensive than student tickets. Well, maybe that's okay. So it's $14, because that's X, for senior citizens. And $12 for student tickets. Okay. And there you go. All right. Notice I kind of put I didn't just give you the ordered pair 14, 12. I put it in context of the problem. All right. Is 1013 a solution of the inequality given by negative 4x plus 3y less than negative 1? Show your work that supports your answer. Well, let's check it. Literally just plug in 1013. Is that less than negative 1? So you got negative 40 plus 39 is that less than -1? Do we get -1? Is that less than -1? You might be tempted to say, yes, it is. Or it does work. It would only work if it was less than or equal to. You have to realize, hey, this is just less than. So this is false. Basically, oh, I said 4. This is false. So 10, 13 is not a solution to the inequality. Okay, and I would circle this. Okay. All right, Stella. Yes, Stella from our our 4th period class. Only because I love the name Stella is why she's on here. It says Stella was asked to graph the solution to the inequality y is greater than -3/2 x plus 3. You have to pay close attention to this. Her graph is shown below, and here's the graph of that inequality. Explains Stella's error or errors if she has more than one. Well, the first thing I notice is that this is a greater than symbol, which means this should be a broken line. Is this a broken line? No. So one error is Stella drew a solid line when it should have been broken. That's the first thing I notice. What else? Is there anything else? Well, you can see the shadings over on this side. So, and this is greater than, so that means all the y values greater than this line, which means she should have shaded this side. So she also shaded the wrong side. The wrong side of the line. 2 things wrong. She did. And you move on. That's the answer to that question. The last question is sketch the solution to each system of inequality. So there's one system here. So to do this, we have to graph the line, the boundary line for each of these inequalities. So I'll do the top one in yellow and the bottom one in blue. Okay? So the yellow one is y. Now, I don't worry about the inequality. I'm just graphing the boundary. So that's an equal. Y equals -x minus 2. Y-intercept of -2. Slope of -1/1 means we go down 1 to the right 1. It's like this. I put as many dots as I can because that's my habit, and I want to encourage you to have the same habit. Okay, and then it is going to be a line. Now, I noticed it's greater than that or equal to, so I'm not going to draw a solid line because I noticed that right off the bat. So it's a broken line, all right? And that's supposed to be yellow, so I'm just going to change the color scheme. This is blue, and the bottom one's going to be yellow because I did not do the right colors. Now let's decide where to shade. So blue, let's see, greater than means we shade above the line, so we're over here. All right. Now, for the yellow line, it has a y-intercept of 1. You should know how to graph these. And a slope of -4/1, which means we go down 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1, and we're there. I can also go up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left 1. Those 3 points form a line, and notice it's less than, so it's going to be broken. Okay? And there you go. Now we have to decide where to shade. So it's less than, we have to shade below the line. So this is going to be shaded in this region. And it's where the overlapping is. And the overlapping is in this little wedge. So this, and you would write this. You would say, hey, this is the solution, and point to it. Okay, this right here. All right, and there you go. That was quick and easy. There are 7 questions on your quiz. Have a great day.